Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great to hear we have so much in common. What you didn't mention was that when I was the UK's lead climate negotiator, that was in the run-up to the Copenhagen conference in December 2009, when we were all trying to negotiate a big global climate deal, and we had a catastrophic failure. So I'm not sure I have a great illustrious record on that, but happily, 6 years later, there was a great international global climate deal in Paris. So hopefully I set that in motion in some small way. But it's great to be here today with you at the second international conference on large-scale grid integration. It's great to have our partners GIZ and USAID and my US and German colleagues here as well, and it's great that we've been able to help co-host this important platform. And I wanted also to thank the government of India for their endorsement and continued support. Climate change is something we all have to deal with, grapple with gradually and collectively. And of course, one of the many ways we can do this is through the energy sector. First of all, I wanted to congratulate India's ambition in this area as a whole. And India has been playing a leading role on climate action. On renewables, and especially on solar power, the progress is really impressive. And the 175 gigawatt target has really caught the world's attention. So we welcome Prime Minister Modi's leadership in establishing the International Solar Alliance also, and we are a proud member of that. But let me say a word also about the UK, since I am the representative of the UK here. Since 1990, we have reduced our emissions by 42%, whilst growing our economy by 72%. I love that statistic. You know, you can grow your economy massively while reducing emissions, and that's the fastest progress in the G20. Renewables are now around 30% of our electricity mix, including the largest offshore wind capacity in the world, 40% of the global share. Earlier this summer, we saw the longest run ever of coal-free electricity generation since the Industrial Revolution. So that's a testament, I think, to ongoing policies, including a carbon tax and emission targets. So we're proud that through legislation, the UK is the first major economy to commit to being a zero net carbon country by 2050. But we're all facing very similar challenges. We're all working together. I just wanted to highlight a couple of examples of UK-India shared working. So on investment, the UK is the largest contributor to the World Bank's $5.4 billion Clean Technology Fund. India is the biggest recipient of Clean Technology Fund funding. And $250 million of that comes from the UK, invested in solar parks, rooftop solar panels, better transmission infrastructure, energy efficiency, and so on. And most recently at the G7 meeting just held on climate change and the environment, our Prime Minister announced that the UK would double its contribution to the International Green Climate Fund to £1.4 billion over the next 4 years to help adapt to the effects of climate change in the developing world. On technological cooperation, in partnership with the Ministry of Power here, the UK has provided support through the Power Sector Reform Programme to set up a new Centre for Energy Regulation at IIT Kanpur. We're supporting the development and piloting of innovative business models to deploy last-mile solar rooftop systems and solar pumps on a large scale. And lastly, on research and innovation, the India-UK program, the Newton Bubba Fund, has been really relevant here. And the UK Research and Innovation and the Government of India's Department of Science and Technology have set up a £10 million joint virtual clean energy centre. Though I could have gone on with loads of examples, but we're running out of time, so there's just a few. I did want to mention before I close that, as you may or may not know, in partnership with Italy, the UK has bid to host COP26 in 2020. We see these collaborations as really key towards an accelerated green transition and greater commitments globally. And all these ambitious plans set out by countries to make their economies greener and more climate resilient really do require people like you coming together, and academia, policymakers, industry, and using international platforms like this to deepen partnership and support innovation. and to really help raise our ambition collectively. So it's great you're here, ladies and gentlemen, and I see there are a few ladies. This kind of area always seems to attract a lot of men, but I can see ladies dotted around, so it's great to have you there too. I hope it's a really successful conference. Thank you very much for your attention.